Here we have the radio thermostat CT110. It's a Z-Wave compatible thermostat. It has 2 stages of heat and 2 stages of cool. It'll also do a heat pump. This runs on 4 AA batteries or a C-wire. Now if you're going to use the Z-Wave radio, we recommend that you use the C-wire to power the thermostat. This looks like a pretty nice thermostat. I can't wait to get inside the box and see what's going on. So now we have it open. We see we have the standard labels that we use to mark our wires when we take the old thermostat off the wall. We also have the thermostat and a backplate. This one snaps onto a backplate, so it's a little bit easier to install. Now we have it out of the package. We can see we have the thermostat and we have the backplane. Well, to get to the backplane, we have to separate the two. In order to separate the two, if you look on the side, there's a piece of blue tape. We need to remove the blue tape from both sides before we can separate the thermostat from the backplane. Okay, so we have the blue tape. We simply peel it back and it comes off. Then we go to the other side and we have the same piece of blue tape. We pull it. Now we have the tape off. We simply take the 2 pieces and gently separate them. When we separate the 2 pieces, we see we have the backplane that goes on the wall, and we have the thermostat, and the batteries go in here. Let's take a look at the backplane first. Okay, this is a pretty nice backplane because what we can do is we can fix the backplane to the wall first. We can run our wires through the center here. And we don't need a screwdriver, if you've noticed, to put the wires in. We have these nice little tabs. We just push the tab down and push the wire in the little hole in the socket and release the tab, and that will secure your wire. So now looking at the back of the thermostat, we have the space for the 4 AA batteries, and neatly tucked in one of them we have 3 screws and mollies. These screws and mollies will enable you to securely fasten the backplate to the wall. You can also see that the radio thermostat is a Z-Wave Plus. That's a Z-Wave 500 compatible thermostat. So it's the latest generation of Z-Wave. Now we're ready to take and put the batteries in the thermostat. Once again, we use 4 AA batteries. We highly recommend using a name brand battery such as a Duracell, Energizer, or Rayovac alkaline. We also will not use a rechargeable battery. Rechargeable batteries do not work in our thermostats because they put out a lower voltage than a standard battery. So you always get the low battery indicator on the thermostat. There is 4 spots for the battery. Basically snap them in. Be sure to take and pay attention to the plus and the negative indicator on the battery and in the compartment. Okay, so we have 4 batteries in the back of it. We turn it around and we can see that it's come up. And then let's go ahead and discuss the display on this thermostat. So let's look at the home screen. Up in the upper left-hand corner, you can see we have the mode that it's in. The modes are off, heat, or cool. So right now we have it in the off mode. Coming over to the right, we see a little radio tower. The radio tower tells us that we have a Z-Wave radio in this unit. When we get into the stages of where we're going to mate it to the Z-Wave controller, we'll talk about the little radio waves that come off of it and how we made it, but that's in a different show. Up over on the upper right, we have the battery. This is a nice feature. It shows you how much battery power you have left. So as the batteries slowly go bad over the course of a year or so, you can look at it and not take a guess whether your batteries are good. And if you're leaving the house for a week or so, you can see that you have good batteries or if they're going to go bad while you're gone. In the center, we have the temperature. Now this is the temperature that it is in the room. You can see it's in degrees Fahrenheit. It can also be set to Celsius for the people that like that. And then one other thing we have here with the temperature, you can see that it's 74.5 degrees. Yes, this reads down to ½ degree. Okay, down in the bottom we have a picture of a fan, and right next to it we have an A. That means the fan's on auto. It'll turn on and off depending whether the heat or cool is calling, and we'll need the fan. Well, this is about it for the main home screen. Next we'll go in and we'll look at the heat and cool screens. Up at the top of the thermostat, on the left-hand side, there's a little button. This button is the mode button. By pressing the mode button, you can see we went from off to heat. We press it again, it goes to off. Then it goes into cool. Again, back to off. And then back to auto. So let's go ahead and let's put it in heat mode. Now we've talked about all the other features that are already on here, but we have a new one right now, which is down the lower left-hand corner. It's a little 70. That's the temperature that this thermostat's set for. That's our target temperature. The big number is still in the center of the screen. That's our room temperature. Now we're going to talk about setting the target temperature up and down in just a minute, but let's look at the lower right-hand side of the screen. And on the lower right-hand side of the screen, you'll notice that there's a little fire symbol. The fire symbol shows that we're in heat mode again. We press the mode button, and here we go, we're in cool mode. Look at it with the backlight on. We see that the target temperature, the fan, and the snowflake are all flashing. This means that we're calling for cool, the fan's on, and our target temperature is 73 degrees. If you notice, the target temperature and the snowflake only flash while the backlight is on. It will not show you whether it's running or not when the backlight is off. So let's hit the mode one more time. Now we're in auto. Now auto means that we'll automatically switch between heat and cool depending on what you're going to need. You still have a target temperature, and then when the temperature goes above the target temperature and you need to be cooled down by the swing, it will automatically go into cool. When it drops below the target temperature within the swing, it will turn on the heat and bring you back up. Also on the top of the thermostat, on the right-hand side, you'll notice there's a little button that has a fan symbol on it. So let's take a look. When we press the fan button, it toggles between just the fan symbol and the fan symbol with an A. The fan symbol itself flashing means the fan is running. So if you want to circulate the air in your house just to freshen things up, you can press that and the fan will come on and run. Now if you press it again, you'll see the fan symbol with the A. The fan symbol with the A means it's in automatic mode that will turn on and off with your heat or cool. Now let's go over to the left-hand side of the thermostat. There's two buttons here that have an up and a down arrow on those. If you look at the up and down arrow, and then we hit the up and down arrow once we're in either heat or cool mode, so let's go into heat, you'll notice that the target temperature, if I press the down arrow, goes down. Wow, there we are at 65. But the room temperature stays the same because we're just changing the target temperature. Likewise, if I hit the up arrow, the temperature will go up. So you can change your target temperature with the up and down arrows on the side of the thermostat. Now there's one more button on the right-hand side of the thermostat. And that button is a little button that shows a radio tower with radio waves on it. It's a small recessed button, and you're going to need a paper clip or a pen or a pencil or something of that type to push it. We're going to talk about this button. It's called the mate button. It's for the Z-Wave radio in here. And when we talk about setting up the Z-Wave radio, we're going to use it to mate it with the controller. That's your home automation or your alarm system. There's one more thing on the screen that shows up when you're in heat, cool, or auto mode. What it is the time. It's the time of day. It shows you whether it's AM or PM. And this will display when you're in those mode, when it's just been sitting for a while. Well, these are the basic functions of our overview of the CT110 thermostat. In future videos, we're going to go over wiring and setting it up and mating it to your Z-Wave panel. See you then.